Michael.
Hello, Maria.
How are you?
It's good to have you here.
Thank you for the opportunity to meet here in Cyprus in your office with all these beautiful...
The least we can do for such a polite woman and professional. Yes.
Thank you. So I'm really glad to have managed to catch you here, because I know you're always traveling everywhere around the globe. So I thought it would be great to share a bit your experience and what you do with everyone who follows gguttalks, because this is the first episode we're recording here with you in Cyprus.
Oh, I'm honored. Immaculate timing. You found me just after I came back from the United States. And if I go on to say what I do,
Yeah.
that was a question, right?
Yeah.
I help teams become more effective, and I do it through the avenue of building their confidence, getting them to communicate better together, up and down the hierarchy, and building trust, as you know, which is the main ingredient in successful teams. I also help, as I told you at an earlier meeting, with public speaking, help executives get their message out to the world at large, either inside the organization or outside the organization. And I work with mainly C-level executives at various positions, from CEOs, Chief Executive Officers, to CEOs, Chief Operating Officers, to entrepreneurs like yourself, and I help them to get that message out. At the same time, I'm also a keynote speaker at major events for many companies around 20 countries. I have taken the stage just to give a speech that was thoroughly prepared on topics like team building, teamwork, sometimes self-development, innovation, and the rest.
Okay.
Yes.
So what made you do what you do? So what's your journey?
The journey. First of all, we're here located today at the Virardi head offices, which deals with catering equipment and tabletop supplies.
Okay.
And this is what my late father, Rolando, whom you see in the picture here, started in 1971. So I started working for the family business, and I was helping promote our catering equipment and tabletop supplies. And we still have that business going.
Okay.
Next door is my brother's office.
Okay.
And that's Virardi, or virardi.com, for everyone who wants to have a look. As I was doing this business, the first year that I came back from university, I was in London, in England. I came back, my dad said, Michael, we have a new company that we just really got the representation for. It's called Carlisle Food Service Products. And at the backyard, there is a 40-foot container, and the Americans said that they will give us a year trial to see if we're worthy. So you go ahead, son, and promote these plastic articles. And no one knew Virardi for polycarbonate, polyethylene, glasses, tumblers, service cards. So I went out, and to cut a long story short, after 1 year, we sold 8 40-feet containers.
Okay.
And we got the first European award in terms of population size, but we came first in the whole of Europe. So they flew us to Charlotte, North Carolina, together with my brother. And on the last day, they flew us there to tell them our success story, and to give us an award. We were the European distributors, I think 1997. So that day, or 1999, that day I saw Jeffrey Gitomer, the #1 sales consultant, I believe one of the best sales consultants today in the United States. I saw him on stage. That was the first time I think I sat still in a chair for more than 6 hours. And as soon as he finished, I went up to him and I said, Mr. Gitomer, you were fantastic. How can I become like you, sir? He said, it's easy and it's difficult. And I said, as a Cypriot, I said, what's easy? So he said, study 2 hours on your chosen topic, whatever it is, self-development, sales, customer care, whatever, innovation, whatever, any topic.
Yeah.
Study on your chosen topic for 2 hours every day, except weekends. In 5 years, you will be recognized in your country, and 10 years worldwide. So I said, sir, I start today. But what's difficult, by the way? And he said, will you be able to go the full length? Will you be able to have consistency? And I said, sir, I'll buy your 2 books. At the time, he had 2 books, now he has 20. Customer Satisfaction is Worthless, Customer Loyalty is Priceless, and the Sales Bible, and cassettes, not DVDs, not CDs,
Okay.
cassettes. And that started my journey. I came back to Cyprus. I started lecturing in the room next door for our teams, from the cleaning lady all the way to the CEO, which was my dad at the time. And every Monday, non-stop for 7 years, we were doing in-house training, except August. All the rest of the months, we never missed a Monday for 7 years. And I became a trainer on the backs of my colleagues here at Virardi.
Okay, interesting.
That's the story.
Yeah, I didn't know that one. That's interesting. Like in-house, you're training the culture. I'm sure it affected the business and brought it to the way it is, or the point it is today. Well,
I believe it did, yes.
It did. You're still doing that here?
No, I'm not still doing it. Whenever my brother asks me to do it, I'll do it.
Okay.
But they rarely ask me because they realized I wasn't that good enough. No, I'm joking. Yeah, but from time to time I do it, but not every Monday.
Okay.
It cannot be.
Okay.
The rates I was charging then was £0, Cyprus pounds. The rates I charge now, they cannot have me every week, you know?
Okay. So, since you train, if you want, or you deal with so many different people at different levels, even though you focus on C-levels, but you said you work with entrepreneurs and so on. What are some of the common patterns you see for people who have to speak in front of someone, be it on stage or a simple presentation?
Excellent question. Some of the common patterns are, first and foremost, I believe, that's the number one by far, is their fear of taking the stage.
Okay.
And whenever people come to me and they say, Michael, I'm scared, I have a fear, like one executive that I trained yesterday in Nicosia, I said, welcome to the club, because I also have a fear of taking the stage every time I take the stage. But if you are prepared, if you're fully prepared, and I will come to that later, if you're fully prepared, then fear as an acronym stands for false experiences appearing real, nothing else. And I always tell my mentees that the symptoms of fear is that your heart is pacing, your palms are getting a bit sweaty, and you think into the future, will I make it? The symptoms of excitement, if you look at an athlete training for the Olympics or finishing a race, either he came or she came first or second or third, whatever, and they interview them, the symptoms of excitement is the same. Heart pacing, palms might get a bit sweaty, and they think into the future, will I win the race? So fear and excitement, they borderline a lot. So it's how you frame it. As I told the executive yesterday in Nicosia, you deserve to be in this position. You deserve to address 250 people after 15 years in this particular company, which is a very well-known company. So it's not a coincidence that you're standing here, but you need to be prepared. So number one is fear. Other patterns that I see is that people make a lot of statements instead of backing them up. So we, company XYZ, we're the best company in our industry, or we had a great year. But these are vague statements. What do you mean best company? In terms of what? Can you justify that? You either bring a number or you tell a story. We have one of the most innovative products in the market. But what do you mean innovative products in the market? Compared to what? What has it done? Give me a side story, give me a number, or quote the Financial Times or the Independent or the local paper that says A, B, C, D. So people should stop making statements if they're not going to back them up.
Yeah.
And there are various other things that I can go on and on and on and on. But fear and having a central theme which you back it up with statements. I have an acronym that I came up with. It's my very own. It's called STIR. STIR. Yeah. You make a statement. T is think it through. I is illustrate it. Yeah. And the R is restate the original statement. So you make a statement, you think it through, you illustrate it with an example, and then you restate it.
So it's like a loop, basically, to go back to,
it's like
to
a loop.
Express it. Yeah.
People become more gullible. People might accept your pitching or your statements much better if you can illustrate them.
Yeah, but people want to understand why and how, because just saying a statement is not enough. Yeah, I get you. And my last question for you would be, what's your key or recipe for success?
A lovely question again. First of all, success is very elusive. Once you think you have grasped it, I believe you haven't, and you need to, because it's a fast-paced world, and with technological advancements that you know better than me, in the old days, in my father's days, if you sat a bit still, the world would wait for you. Now, if you stand still doing nothing, you go further back because the world is moving ahead in tremendous pace. So the recipe for success, yes, it is hard and smart work. Sit down, do your research, find the latest and greatest statistics if we're talking about public speaking, or if you're writing a blog post, or if you want to get your message through to your employees or to your partners, but also network, because ideas multiply, and I have a feeling that your network will determine your net worth. So go ahead out and network. You can also visit venues, parties, you can go to Chamber of Commerce events, but you can also go on to LinkedIn in groups, join discussions, and find like-minded people who can help you launch your boat or launch your ideas onto a bigger arena, because we're not talking locally now, we're talking also globally. So as I learned at Singularity University, which I just came back, we shouldn't be thinking linearly, we should be thinking exponentially.
Yeah, especially when also you live in Cyprus, which is a small island, actually in the middle of like almost 3 continents basically, but you managed to have this outreach and global outreach.
If it wasn't for technology, if it wasn't for the social media channels, I believe Michael and many others, many capable speakers, presenters, businessmen, entrepreneurs, designers like yourself, would have stayed still in this country with limited opportunities. So people should work hard and smart, and also network and try to understand how the global reality is shaping, so they won't stay local, they go global.
Okay. Thank you so much for your tips. I just have a quick question. We're still at the beginning of 2019. What are your next plans, like a book or talks, or
I love your questions. To fail to prepare is to prepare, to fail and you have prepared. Very good. There is an online program coming up on public speaking.
Okay.
This is the first time ever after 17 years of doing this that I'm coming up with an online program.
Okay.
It's going to be around 26 videos. We just finished recording it,
Okay.
and we're going to release it. So for people who cannot afford Michael Virardi one-on-one coaching or the rest, they can buy it. They have access to it.
Okay.
There is a book coming up. I've written the first chapter last year, and then I stayed still. But there is a book on public speaking, hopefully, and now I'm promising in front of the camera, we'll get it up and running this year by the end of the year,
Okay.
which is going to be like a book and a manual on public speaking.
Okay.
And I invested a lot, and I invest a lot on my personal development, and I will continue investing.
Okay.
Because I don't want to stand still, I want to move ahead.
Okay.
And there are many other things coming, like workshops abroad. We're taking the Address for Success public speaking workshop to Egypt. We just signed a deal yesterday, and Lausanne and many other places. And there is also a speech coming at Google, which I'm very proud of. It's going to be on the 8th of March on Women's Day, and we'll keep you posted.
Okay, great.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you, Maria. It was a pleasure.